My goodness
Are you
me.
recording?
Are you?
Just
Are you?
let it
I
roll.
just let it roll because we're spontaneous people. Even
So
when
you see,
see his,
I ate. She doesn't
his
eat.
the potatoes on the stove.
Are they boiling yet?
Thank you. No, that's right.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay.
for another 8 minutes.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, it seems to be, or we would be.
It's because I get free steam when I open the dishwasher. Free steam. My skin is like wild, you know.
How's working with Jillian?
Oh God. I'm going. My potatoes are boiling.
No,
Look at his face. No, poor thing. Needs
Bleep, bleep, sensor, bleep, bleep,
bleep, bleep.
sensor, 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 bleep, 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 sensor.
Hi, my name's Jillian.
Hi, I'm Damien.
Hi, my name is Jason Justad, and I'm the music director here at MCC Toronto.
I was looking for a place, being gay and it was very hard back many years ago, at least 2000, the year 2000. I said there was a lot of trouble with the Catholic Church saying things to us that the gay people were wrong, we were not welcome. So my partner at the time was now my wife. We decided to just walk from the church. And it was just amazing because it was sort of like no questions asked. Whatever religion you were, you just came. They never discriminated. It was just a happy, wonderful place. And slowly, we got more involved. And the church has grown immensely, so fabulously. People have come, people have gone. We've lost friends, you know, through a lot of troubles. And always, MCC has been doing something for the community, coming out to parade, to protest, to help, always. And then moving along, like as I got older, you know, catering became less and less obvious because COVID came and stopped everything. I was so sad. I said, what am I going to do? And my wife said to me, she said, you know, our church has a triangle program. She says, we have a real school. I said, where? She said, downstairs in our church. I just put my name in. I said, well, you know what? I'll volunteer. Whatever they asked me to do, anything, you know. I didn't even know there was a kitchen. So rang the doorbell, and this person came to the door wearing a chef hat, like a black hat, and looked at me and said, yes, can I help you? The usual thing, you know. I go, oh, I'm here for an orientation. And, oh, okay, come. So this person who I now know as Damien took me into the kitchen.
I started with MCC in probably 1992. Had a whole new experience in life. The service was unfolding as it would, and Brent was being as eloquent as usually he would be. And then we stood to sing the Lord's Prayer. I was down for the count. I had to sit. I started to cry. Look at me, I'm getting verklempt just thinking about it. I started to cry. And the next thing I know, Sandra Miller slid in beside me. She put her arm around me and she said, everything's going to be okay. And that's how I started in MCC.
This is where the sink is, this is where the knives are, this is where you wash your hands, and this is where everything is, and the numbers are here, 2 numbers. Okay, so I started to do whatever he was telling me to do. And believe it or not, and I'm just going to jump in and tell you this, that since that day, I haven't left.
A few years ago, when I was getting close to retirement, I was thinking, what am I going to do when I retire? Because I'm definitely not going to sit at home. And I love to cook. And during the service, you hear often about the Triangle program downstairs. And I knew that lunch was one of the things that was served to the kids. I thought, I can do that. And I approached Reverend Jeff and I said, I'd really like to cook for the Triangle program. He said, well, why don't you come and see what it's all about and see what the meals are like. And I showed up I think it was a Tuesday. We did a meal together. Jeff never showed up again. And from that point on, it was my program. For some of the students, the meal that we provide is going to be the only meal that they're going to have today. They come from various backgrounds. Some of them are economically challenged. For some of them, this will be the best meal that they're going to have today. They come from various high schools where they possibly may have been bullied, marginalized, parents have thrown them out of the house, and it's a chance for them to finish their formal education and hopefully be able to move on in life.
Now tell me about Jillian.
Oh, Jillian, yes, there's a topic.
And I never said my background or anything like that. I just volunteered.
She is a retired chef, and when we had an opening, she was sort of the next one on the list, and she got contacted, and she has hence become my right-hand sidekick. She's here 4 days a week, and it's become a passion for her as well. So it's great to have two of us with a big passion in the kitchen. It feels like
We do. We squawk at each other, and we're grumpy, but to each other lovingly, because he's
That's
wonderful.
very true. You may quote that.
He is the reason I come every day.
Well, I mean, we're running the kitchen more as a professional kitchen than a house
See?
kitchen.
There you go.
And
you go.
a lot of the refugees that volunteer with us, they're used to cooking and, you know, for 4 people, et cetera, et cetera. So it's an experience to cook for large quantities.
Yeah.
So when I was in my last year of high school, when we had grade 13, that was in the year 1994 and 1995, I worked in a kitchen at a residence at the University of Toronto campus. And I met a woman in the kitchen who would be my boss. She taught me the ropes, and her name was Jillian.
I was making food one day. I was squawking at somebody saying, pick up the pace. We need to hurry up. Food is getting ready. And this person came over and said, Jillian?
Fast forward 30 years, and I walk into the social hall, and I see the volunteers who are cooking the meals for the Triangle program, and I see a woman. I think it's a ghost at first. I'm like, that looks like Jillian, but it can't be because she hasn't aged at all.
You know, like that. And all of this finger movement he was doing in the kitchen, look at his hands.
That's
now
right.
I play the piano.
Yeah,
Like, la, la, blah, blah,
that's
blah.
right.
So
Garlic and cheese
then
preparation.
when I saw him and he heard me squawking one day. Remember, I said, pick up the pace. And he says, I heard that voice before 30 years ago. And then he showed it. He did a video for his mom. Remember, we stood together.
That's right.
You FaceTimed your mom in the
I
social
said,
hall.
I have to send this to my mom
Yeah.
because she won't believe that Jillian and I found ourselves together
Exactly.
again 30
Yeah.
years later.
Exactly.
And I sent them the picture.
So you are now everywhere, all over the city, like playing music everywhere?
Yeah, I've been lucky to have a life in music, you know, because after that experience working in the kitchen here after high school, I went to McGill University.
Amazing.
And that's where I studied music.
Amazing.
And then the rest is
history.
kind of went from
Yeah,
there. But,
amazing.
But I say there's no place else I'd rather be on a Sunday morning than here.
Yeah.
And people that come here on Sundays, they will tell you that I'm rarely gone. I'm almost always here unless there's a reason why I have to be away. Because I enjoy it so much. I feel like there's something missing in my week if I don't get a chance to make music in this space.
It's joyful.
Now I know.
You are the most precious person, and I love you.
It was great to catch up.
Absolutely. And I'll see you.
I did.